streetlight caught us somewhere after 9, and threw our shadows long across the road. Yours stretched ahead of mine by half a step, the way you always walked before I showed. I watched the shapes of us against the pavement, two outlines that kept almost touching there. You talked about the record that you'd borrowed, and how the bass line came in on the 3. I wasn't really following the music, I was watching what the lamplight let me see. Our shadows leaning close and then apart, the distance between us measured quietly. There was something in the way the pavement held us, the wet black surface catching all that light. Two people walking home the long way round, with nothing said and everything implied. The shadows did the things we couldn't manage, and touched each other gently in the night. We stopped beneath the last light on the corner. You said goodnight and turned without a look, but our shadows stayed a moment longer, overlapping, before the darkness quietly took. There was something in the way the pavement held us, the wet black surface catching all that light. Two people standing still beneath the last lamp, with nothing said and everything implied. I walked home with the feeling of that corner, and the shape of us together in the night. The light came in around the curtain edge, and laid itself across the kitchen floor. I heard him in the other room, still sleeping, and stood there for a moment by the door. Coffee maker ticked and then went quiet. The whole apartment holding its own breath. I found 2 cups and set them on laughter, and listen to the buildings start to wake. A radio somewhere below us playing a song I didn't know but couldn't shake. The coffee was too strong, but I didn't mind. Some things taste better when the morning's new. There is a kind of quiet that belongs only to the first time you are there. When someone's ordinary morning light falls across your hands and through your hair, and the coffee and the curtain and the stillness make something out of nothing in the air. He came in barefoot and he didn't say much, just reached across and took the cup I'd poured. We stood there at the window looking outward at a street that neither of us had explored. There is a kind of quiet that stays with you long after all the mornings that came next. When someone's ordinary morning light was new enough to feel like something rare, I kept that cup, the curtain and the radio, the particular stillness only first times wear. The rain came in around the middle of the afternoon without the usual warning from the sky. He had the only umbrella between us, and he held it slightly to my side. I noticed how his right shoulder was getting wet, but he didn't shift the handle back toward himself. We walked without deciding where we were going, just following the street through the rain. He talked about the garden at his mother's house, and how the spring came slowly to that lane. My shoes were soaked through somewhere near the bookshop, but I didn't want to be anywhere but there. care, that doesn't need to say what it is doing. A shoulder getting wet beside you in the rain, while the umbrella tilts the other way. The kind of thing you only notice later, when the person and the rain have gone away. We found a doorway when it really started coming, and stood there close while the street turned into water. He shook the umbrella out and laughed a little, and I thought, this is the one I want to keep. There is a particular kind of care that asks for nothing and explains itself by doing. A shoulder wet with rain beside you in the street, while the umbrella tilts away from him. I think of it on every rainy afternoon, the quiet way he gave the dry side over to me. My aunt had kept the iris garden 30 years, along the south wall where the light came longest. By May they were so thick you couldn't see the soil, purple and white, and some the color of dusk. She walked me through them slowly every spring, and named the ones she'd brought from other gardens. The purple ones she'd had since her own mother. The white ones came from someone she'd once known. There was a deep blue violet near the corner that had no name, it had simply grown. I walked among them with my hands held outward, and let the petals brush against my palms. There is a kind of beauty that requires nothing, no words, no explanation, no account. Just the iris and the Maylight and the garden wall, and the weight of 30 years of careful tending, moving through the air like something you can almost hold. and left the house to someone in the family. I heard they kept the garden for a season before the new fence went in along the wall. There is a kind of beauty that requires nothing and leaves you with a fullness hard to name. The iris and the Maylight and my aunt's voice saying this one came from her mother's yard. Some gardens outlast every fence and season and grow in you long after they are gone.
Had them growing by the fence, great heavy heads of pink and white and cream. I'd watch them all through April, getting ready, and by the second week of May they'd come. I cut 3 of the biggest in the morning and wrapped them in the paper from the drawer. I walked 6 blocks to where she lived on Harding, with the peonies getting heavier as I went. They smelled the way that May always smells when everything has finally been spent. I stood outside her building for a moment, and then I knocked before I changed my mind. She came to the door in something like surprise, and looked at me, and then looked at the flowers, and then she laughed and said, "You brought peonies?" And I said yes, like that was all there was to say. She took them and went looking for a vase, and I stood in the doorway in the May. She put them in a tall glass on the table, where the light came in and made them almost glow. We sat beside them drinking tea for hours, and the whole room smelled of May and letting go. She came to the door in something like surprise, and I was 23 and holding flowers. The peonies were heavy and too fragrant, and everything I meant to say was in them. Some things you only get the nerve for once, and May was was kind enough to let me have that hour.
We'd been outside since somewhere before noon, at the lake where his friend kept a boat. By the time we came back in the late afternoon, I could feel it on my nose and on my throat. I didn't notice it until we passed a mirror, and he stopped and looked at me and almost smiled. He said, "You've got the sun on you," and touched the side of my face so gently. It was nothing, just one finger on the pink of my cheekbone. And then he laughed, and I was laughing too. Standing in the hallway of his friend's house, with a face the color of a May tomato, we found some lotion in the bathroom cabinet and sat beside me on the porch steps in the evening and put it on my shoulders without asking, like it was something he had always done. The May air cooling everything around us, and his hands careful on the parts that hurt. We ate outside when everyone came back, and someone made a joke about my nose. He said nothing, just passed the bread across to me, and I thought, this is a person worth the burn. He found some lotion in the bathroom cabinet, and the evening came in cool across the porch. I've had other summers and other afternoons, but none where someone's hands were quite that kind. There are small things that stay longer than the big ones, and the care in how he touched the parts that hurt. I always knew the short way back from campus, 3 blocks straight and then a left on Vine. But when he walked beside me from the lecture, I'd suggest the route along the park incline. He never questioned it, he just kept walking, and I kept finding reasons for the long way round. There was the bakery I said I liked to pass by, and the elm trees that were worth the extra block. The view of the water tower from the corner, and the clock outside the hardware shop. He'd go along with all of it good-natured, and I'd have 20 minutes more of him. The short way home was never really tempting, when the long way had him walking next to me, past the bakery and the elms and the water tower, and the clock that I pretended I liked to see. Some detours aren't about the destination, they're about who's walking along with you. He told me once he'd figured out the short way, that it was half the distance, maybe less. And then he smiled and said he liked the long one, and I had nothing left to say to that. The short way home was never really tempting, when the long way meant another 20 minutes, past the bakery and the elms and the water tower, and someone who had figured out my game. I wonder if he knew the whole time going that the long way round was never about the M's at all. We spread the blanket out beside the clover and lay there with our arms behind our heads. The sky was doing nothing much but being blue, and the bees were working through the flower beds. You could hear them even with your eyes closed. That low and steady hum inside the heat. I had a book I hadn't opened once, and he had borrowed mine and done the same. We lay there in the sound of the afternoon, without the need to talk or to explain. The honeybees went on about their business, and the May sky went on being what it was. There are afternoons that ask for nothing from you, just your back against the ground and open eyes. The hum of something small and very busy, moving through the clover and the light. The kind of afternoon you can't arrange for, that arrives and stays until it's satisfied. He fell asleep somewhere around the third hour. I could tell by how his breathing changed its pace. I lay there listening to the bees continuing, and the afternoon settling into place. There are afternoons that ask for nothing from you, and give you back more than you thought to want. The hum of bees, the clover, and the blue sky, and someone sleeping quietly nearby. I've had 100 afternoons since that one, but none that buzzed quite so completely right.
It was a Tuesday evening in October, the kind that comes in cool and smells of leaves. We'd walk the long way back from the picture house, through the neighborhood of old elm trees. I didn't plan it, nothing had been planned. I just reached out and found her hand was there. She didn't pull away or say a word. She just adjusted how her fingers lay, and we kept walking like it was decided. Long before that Tuesday in October, her palm was warm and slightly damp like mine, and neither of us mentioned it that way. things in both my hands since that particular evening in the fall. But nothing had the weight of what I felt then, the ordinary miracle of it all. A hand that fit inside mine like an answer to a question I had never thought to call. We said goodnight outside her mother's porch light and let go slowly, finger after finger. I walked 3 blocks before I felt the cold and the warmth of where her hand had been would linger. I have held a lot of things in both my hands across the years that followed that October, but I still know the weight of what I felt then, the way she didn't pull away or pause. Some moments teach you everything about a person before a single word is said at all.
The house goes quiet somewhere after 10, and I lie there in the ordinary dark, with the window cracked and the curtain moving slightly, and the sound of the street growing far. I have a name I keep for this particular hour, one I've never said out loud to anyone. I've known him since the autumn that I moved here. We've talked about 100 ordinary things, books and weather and the news and where to eat, and all the small and harmless offerings. But in the dark, when all the ordinary's over, there is just the name and what it means to me. It's just a name, the way all names are just names, 2 syllables that anyone could say. But when I say it in the dark before I'm sleeping, it carries everything I haven't found a way to tell him in the daylight with our coffee and all the careful words we use by day. Sometimes I think about the version of the story where I say it once in daylight and he knows. But then the morning comes and he is just himself, and I am just myself, and that is how it goes. It's just a name, the way all names are just names, but no one else says it the way I do at night. Quietly, like something I am keeping safe, until I find the courage or the light to say it once the way I mean it in the open, and find out if he hears it the same right. Behind the hairpins, a ribbon that I'd saved from something else. It was the color of the forsythia in April, and I tied it in my hair without much help. I told myself it wasn't for a reason, but I knew exactly what the reason was. I waited on the steps outside the library, the way we'd sat at 2:30 or 3. He was late enough that I had almost given up on the particular shade of the afternoon. And then he came around the corner, slightly breathless, and said he'd run the last 2 blocks for me. He didn't mention the ribbon until later, when we were sitting on the library steps. He said he'd seen it from across the corner, the yellow catching in the afternoon, and known it was me before he'd seen my face. That color like a signal in the room. I still have it somewhere in a box of things, too small to throw away, too much to keep. A piece of yellow ribbon from a Tuesday, when waiting felt like the best thing I'd done in weeks. He didn't mention the ribbon until later, but when he did, I felt it all again. The yellow in the drawer, the steps, particular afternoon and what it meant. But something so small could carry so much feeling and bring him running from 2 blocks away. We'd found the corner table by the window, the one that no one wanted in the draft. He ordered black and I had mine with sugar, and we sat there while the afternoon went past. It started with the usual kinds of nothing, and then somewhere it turned into something real. He asked me what I wanted from the future, not in the way that people ask to fill the air, but leaning forward with his cup between his hands, like the answer actually mattered to him there. I told him things I hadn't said to anyone, and he just listened without looking away. The cafe filled and emptied all around us, and we stayed until the light had changed outside. The corner table holding all that talking, the cups gone cold, the afternoon gone wide. Something was decided at that table without a word about what it was deciding. Just came and asked us if we wanted anything else before they closed the back. We ordered just to have a reason to stay, and talked until the chairs went on the racks. The cafe filled and emptied all around us, and we walked out into the evening cool. But something had been settled at that corner, the cups, the draft, the afternoon, the light. I think of it whenever I pass that window, and the way he leaned in close and listened right. There were other seats available that afternoon, before I took the one beside him. He had his jacket folded on his knee, and his eyes were on the window, not beside him. I said, "Excuse me," like it was the only choice, and settled in as casually as I could manage. The bus went slow through all the afternoon traffic, and he watched the street and I watched his profile. The light came in and caught the side of his face, and I looked away and back again in a while. He had a paperback face down on his lap, a title I pretended not to read. The city moved outside that window slowly, and I sat beside him like I had no plan, watching the reflection of the afternoon in the glass between us and the moving street, knowing every stop was one stop closer to the corner where I'd have to find my feet. He got off 2 stops before my corner and said goodbye the way you do to strangers. I watched him cross the street and disappear, and felt the empty seat beside me linger. The city moved outside that window slowly, and I sat alone the way I'd been before. But something in the ordinary afternoon had given me a feeling I would keep. The way the light had caught the side of his face, and how I'd looked away and looked back once more.
It was somebody's birthday in November, in an apartment over on the west side. There were 40 people easy in the living room, and the record player going on the inside. I was standing by the bookshelf with a drink, when something made me look across the room. She was talking to a girl I didn't recognize, with her hair down and a glass of something red. She laughed at something just before she looked up, and And then her eyes came straight across instead. It wasn't long, a second maybe, maybe less. But something passed between us in that second. The room kept going with its 40 people, the music and the voices and the smoke. But there was a particular kind of stillness that settled in the space across the floor, the kind that only happens once or twice in a whole life, if you're lucky, maybe more. Across the room eventually, not quickly, and said something I've long since forgotten. She said something back, and we stood there talking until the party thinned and the record stopped. The room kept going with its 40 people, and I kept going too across the floor. But I've never quite explained to anyone what happened in that second, or what it meant. That out of 40 people in a room in November, her eyes came straight across and found me there.
He had the windows down before we left the driveway, and the radio already on the good station. The road went out of town through all the green things that May had put along the route for decoration. I had my arm out in the moving air, and the whole morning laid ahead of us. We didn't have a plan beyond the driving, just north until we felt like turning round. The fields came up on either side in green and yellow, and the road was good and straight and mostly sound. He drove with one hand, easy on the wheel, and we talked about nothing that I can remember. The air was coming in at 50 miles an hour and carrying the smell of fields and something sweet. The radio was playing something we both knew, and the road was doing nothing but going on. was only possible in May, when everything is green and open and your own. We stopped for gas at a station past the county line and bought 2 cold sodas from the machine outside. He said we could go further if I wanted, and I said yes without deciding why. The air kept coming in at 50 miles an hour, and the green kept going on either side. The radio played out and then found something else, and we kept north until the light began to change. Some mornings give you everything for nothing, just the road and the window and the green of May. The streetlight caught us somewhere after 9, and threw our shadows long across the road. Yours stretched ahead of mine by half a step, the way you always walked before I showed. I watched the shapes of us against the pavement, 2 outlines that kept almost touching there. You talked about the record that you'd borrowed, and how the bass line came in on the 3. I wasn't really following the music, I was watching what the lamplight let me see. Our shadows leaning close and then apart, the distance between us measured quietly. There was something in the way the pavement held us, the wet black surface catching all that light. 2 people walking home the long way round, with nothing said and everything implied. The shadows did the things we couldn't manage, and touched each other gently in the night. We stopped beneath the last light on the corner. You said goodnight and turned without a look, but our shadows songs quietly took. There was something in the way the pavement held us, the wet black surface catching all that light. Two people standing still beneath the last lamp, with nothing said and everything implied. I walked home with the feeling of that corner and the shape of us together in the night. The light came in around the curtain edge and laid itself across the kitchen floor. I heard him in the other room, still sleeping, and stood there for a moment by the door. The coffee maker ticked and then went quiet. The whole apartment holding its own breath. I found 2 cups and set them on the counter and listened to the building start to wake. A radio somewhere below us playing a song I didn't know but couldn't shake. The coffee was too strong, but I didn't mind. Some things taste better when the morning's new. There is a kind of quiet that belongs only to the first time you are there. When someone's ordinary morning light falls across your hands and through your hair, and the coffee and the curtain and the stillness make something out of nothing in the air. He came in barefoot and he didn't say much, just reached across and took the cup I'd poured. We stood there at the window looking outward at a street that neither of us had explored. There is a kind of quiet that stays with you long after all the mornings that came next. When someone's ordinary morning light was new enough to feel like something rare, I kept that cup, the curtain and the radio, the particular stillness only for The rain came in around the middle of the afternoon without the usual warning from the sky. He had the only umbrella between us, and he held it slightly to my side. I noticed how his right shoulder was getting wet, but he didn't shift the handle back toward himself. We walked without deciding where we were going, just following the street through the rain. He talked about the garden at his mother's house, and how the spring came slowly to that lane. My shoes were soaked through somewhere near the bookshop, but I didn't want to be anywhere but there. There is a particular kind of care that doesn't need to say what it is doing. A shoulder getting wet beside you in the rain, while the umbrella tilts the other way. The kind of thing you only notice later, when the person and the rain have gone away. We found a doorway when it really started coming, and stood there close while the street turned into water. He shook the umbrella out and laughed a little, and I thought, this is the one I want to keep. There is a particular kind of care that asks for nothing and explains itself by doing. A shoulder wet with rain beside you in the street, while the umbrella tilts away from him. I think of it on every rainy afternoon, the quiet way he gave the dry side over to me. My aunt had kept the iris garden 30 years along the south wall where the light came longest. By May they were so thick you couldn't see the soil, purple and white, and some the color of dusk. She walked me through them slowly every spring and named the ones she'd brought from other gardens, the purple ones she'd had since her own mother. The white ones came from someone she'd once known. There was a deep blue violet near the corner that had no name, it had simply grown. I walked among them with my hands held outward and let the petals brush against my palms. There is a kind of beauty that requires nothing, no words, no explanation, no account. Just the iris and the maylight and the garden wall and the weight of 30 years of careful tending, moving through the air like something you can almost hold. She died the autumn after that last May and left the house to someone in the family. I heard they kept the garden for a season before the new fence went in along the wall. There is a kind of beauty that requires nothing and leaves you with a fullness hard to name. The iris and the maylight and my aunt's voice saying this one came from her mother's yard. Some gardens outlast every fence and season and grow in you long after they are gone.
Neighbor had them growing by the fence, great heavy heads of pink and white and cream. I'd watch them all through April getting ready, and by the second week of May they'd come. I cut 3 of the biggest in the morning and wrapped them in the paper from the drawer. I walked 6 blocks to where she lived on Harding, with the peonies getting heavier as I went. They smelled the way that May always smells when everything has finally been spent. I stood outside her building for a moment, and then I knocked before I changed my mind. She came to the door in something like surprise, and looked at me, and then looked at the flowers, and then she laughed and said, "You brought peonies." And I said yes, like that was all there was to say. She took them and went looking for a vase, and I stood in the doorway in the maze. She put them in a tall glass on the table, where the light came in and made them almost glow. We sat beside them drinking tea for hours, and the whole room smelled of May and letting go. She came to the door in something like surprise, and I was 23 and holding flowers. The peonies were heavy and too fragrant, and everything I meant to say was in them. Some things you only get the nerve for once, and May was kind enough to let me have that hour.
We'd been outside since somewhere before noon, at the lake where his friend kept a boat. By the time we came back in the late afternoon, I could feel it on my nose and on my throat. I didn't notice it until we passed a mirror, and he stopped and looked at me and almost smiled. He said, "You've got the sun on you," and touched the side of my face so gently it was nothing. Just one finger on the pink of my cheekbone. And then he laughed, and I was laughing too. Standing in the hallway of his friend's house, with a face the color of a May tomato, we found some lotion in the bathroom cabinet and sat beside me on the porch steps in the evening and put it on my shoulders without asking, like it was something he had always done. gray air cooling everything around us, and his hands careful on the parts that hurt. Someone made a joke about my nose. He said nothing, just passed the bread across to me. And I thought, this is a person worth the burn. He found some lotion in the bathroom cabinet, and the evening came in cool across the porch. I've had other summers and other afternoons, but none where someone's hands were quite that kind. There are small things that stay longer than the big ones, and the care in how he touched the parts that hurt. I always knew the short way back from campus, 3 blocks straight and then a left on Vine. But when he walked beside me from the lecture, I'd suggest the route along the park incline. He never questioned it, he just kept walking, and I kept finding reasons for the long way round. There was the bakery I said I liked to pass by, and the elm trees that were worth the extra block. The view of the water tower from the corner, and the clock outside the hardware shop. He'd go along with all of it good-natured, and I'd have 20 minutes more of him. The short lay home was never really tempting, next to me, past the bakery and the elms and the water tower, and the clock that I pretended I liked to see. Some detours aren't about the destination, they're about who's walking along with you. He told me once he'd figured out the short way, that it was half the distance, maybe less. And then he smiled and said he liked the long one, and I had nothing left to say to that. The short way home was never really tempting, when the long way meant another 20 minutes. Past the bakery and the elms and the water tower, and someone who had figured out my game. I wonder if he knew the whole time going that the long way round was never about the M's at all. We spread the blanket out beside the clover and lay there with our arms behind our heads. The sky was doing nothing much but being blue, and the bees were working through the flower beds. You could hear them even with your eyes closed, that low and steady hum inside the heat. I had a book I hadn't opened once, and he had borrowed mine and done the same. We lay there in the sound of the afternoon, without the need to talk or to explain. The honeybees went on about their business, and the May sky went on being what it was. There are afternoons that ask for nothing from you, just your back against the ground and open eyes. The hum of something small and very busy, moving through the clover and the light. The kind of afternoon you can't arrange for, that arrives and stays until it's satisfied. He fell asleep somewhere around the third hour. I could tell by how his breathing changed its pace. I lay there listening to the bees continuing, and the afternoon settling into place. There are afternoons that ask for nothing from you, and give you back more than you thought to want. The hum of bees, the clover, sleeping quietly nearby. I've had 100 afternoons since that one, but none that buzzed quite so completely right.
It was a Tuesday evening in October, the kind that comes in cool and smells of leaves. We'd walk the long way back from the picture house, through the neighborhood of old elm trees. I didn't plan it, nothing had been planned. I just reached out and found her hand was there. She didn't pull away or say a word. She just adjusted how her fingers lay. We kept walking like it was decided. Long before that Tuesday in October, her palm was warm and slightly damp like mine, and neither of us mentioned it that way. I have held a lot of things in both my hands since that particular evening in the fall, but nothing had the weight of what I felt then. The ordinary miracle of it all, a hand that fit inside mine like an answer to a question I had never thought to call. We said goodnight outside her mother's porch light and let go slowly, finger after finger. I walked 3 blocks before I felt the cold and the warmth of where her hand had been would linger. I have held a lot of things in both my hands across the years that followed that October, but I still know the weight of what I felt then. The way she didn't pull away or pause. Some moments teach you everything about a person before a single word is said at all.
goes quiet somewhere after 10, and I lie there in the ordinary dark, with the window cracked and the curtain moving slightly, and the sound of the street growing far. I have a name I keep for this particular hour, one I've never said out loud to anyone. I've known him since the autumn that I moved here. We've talked about 100 ordinary things, books and weather and the news and where to eat, and all the small and harmless offerings. But in the dark, when all the ordinary's over, there is just the name and what it means to me. It's just a name, the way all names are just names. 2 syllables that anyone could say. But when I say it in the dark before I'm sleeping, it carries everything I haven't found a way to tell him in the daylight with our coffee and all the careful words we use by day. Sometimes I think about the version of the story where I say it once in daylight and he knows, but then the morning comes and he is just himself and I am just myself, and that is how it goes. It's just a name, the way all names are just names, but no one else says it the way I do at night. Quietly, like something I am keeping safe, until I find the courage or the light to say it once the way I mean it in the open, and find out if he hears it the same right. Behind the hairpins, a ribbon that I'd saved from something else. It was the color of the forsythia in April, and I tied it in my hair without much help. I told myself it wasn't for a reason, but I knew exactly what the reason was. I waited on the steps outside the library, the way we'd sat at was late enough that I had almost given up on the particular shade of the afternoon. And then he came around the corner, slightly breathless, and said he'd run the last 2 blocks for me. He didn't mention the ribbon until later, when we were sitting on the library steps. He said he'd seen it from across the corner, the yellow catching in the afternoon, and known it was me before he'd seen my face, that color like a signal in the room. I still have it somewhere in a box of things, too small to throw away, too much to keep. A piece of yellow ribbon from a Tuesday, when waiting felt like the best thing I'd done in weeks. He didn't mention the ribbon until later, but when he did, I felt it all again. The yellow in the drawer, the steps, the corner, the particular afternoon, and what it meant. But something so small could carry so much feeling, and bring him running from 2 blocks away. We'd found the corner table by the window, the one that no one wanted in the draft. He ordered black and I had mine with sugar, and we sat there while the afternoon went past. It started with the usual kinds of nothing, and then somewhere it turned into something real. He asked me what I wanted from the future, not in the way that people ask to fill the air, but leaning forward with his cup between his hands, like the answer actually mattered to him there. I told him things I hadn't said to anyone, and he just listened without looking away. The cafe filled and emptied all around us, and we stayed until the light had changed outside. The corner table holding all that talking, the cup's gone cold, the teachers came and asked us if we wanted anything else before they closed the back. We ordered just to have a reason to stay, and talked until the chairs went on the racks. The cafe filled and emptied all around us, and we walked out into the evening cool. But something had been settled at that corner. The cups, the draft, the afternoon, the light. I think of it whenever I pass that window, and the way he leaned in close and listened right. There were other seats available that afternoon. I counted 3 before I took the one beside him. He had his jacket folded on his knee, and his eyes were on the window, not beside him. I said, "Excuse me," like it was the only choice, and settled in as casually as I could manage. The bus went slow through all the afternoon traffic, and he watched the street and I watched his profile. The light came in and caught the side of his face, and I looked away and back again in a while. He had a paperback face down on his lap, a title I pretended not to read. The city moved outside that window slowly, and I sat beside him like I had no plan, watching the reflection of the afternoon in the glass between us and the moving street, knowing every stop was one stop closer to the corner where I'd have to find my feet. He got off 2 stops before my corner and said goodbye the way you do to strangers. I watched him cross the street and disappear, and felt the empty seat beside me linger. The city moved outside that window slowly, and I sat alone the way I'd been before. But something in the ordinary afternoon had given me a feeling the sight of his face, and how I'd looked away and looked back once more.
It was somebody's birthday in November, in an apartment over on the west side. There were 40 people easy in the living room, and the record player going on the inside. I was standing by the bookshelf with a drink, when something made me look across the room. She was talking to a girl I didn't recognize, with her hair down and a glass of something red. She laughed at something just before she looked up, and then her eyes came straight across instead. It wasn't long, a second maybe less, but something passed between us in that second. The room kept going with its 40 people, the music and the voices and the smoke. But there was a particular kind of stillness that settled in the space across the floor, the kind that only happens once or twice in a whole life, if you're lucky, maybe more. Across the room eventually, not quickly, and said something I've long since forgotten. She said something back, and we stood there talking until the party thinned and the record stopped. The room kept going with its 40 people, and I kept going too across the floor. But I've never quite explained to anyone what happened in that second, or what it meant, that out of 40 people in a room in November, her eyes came straight across and found me there.
He had the windows down before we left the driveway, and the radio already station. The road went out of town through all the green things that May had put along the route for decoration. I had my arm out in the moving air, and the whole morning laid ahead of us. We didn't have a plan beyond the driving, just north until we felt like turning round. The fields came up on either side in green and yellow, and the road was good and straight and mostly sound. He drove with one hand, easy on the wheel, and we talked about nothing that I can remember. The air was coming in at 50 miles an hour and carrying the smell of fields and something sweet. The radio was playing something we both knew, and the road was doing nothing but going on. The kind of morning that is only possible in May, when everything is green and open and your own. We stopped for gas at a station past the county line and bought 2 cold sodas from the machine outside. He said we could go further if I wanted, and I said yes without deciding why. The air kept coming in at 50 miles an hour, and the green kept going on either side. The radio played out and then found something else, and we kept north until the light began to change. Some mornings give you everything for nothing, just the